Evangelion! The anime is so complicated, it has 4 different endings, taking 21 years to fully complete. And Konosuba fans think they have it bad. They do. I'm a Konosuba fan too. We need season 3 now! In the last week, I have done nothing but study Evangelion so I can present to you the facts. I'm gonna go through every single ending from Neon Genesis all the way through to the secret ending. For 20-ish episodes, Neon Genesis has been a mecha anime about a post-apocalyptic world. And now it's a fever dream about philosophy. And I hate philosophy. The ending can be split into 2 parts. The fun part and the philosophical part. The fun part is this little segment where it's what Evangelion could have been if it was a slice of life. And it was pretty good. I would love to see a slice of life Evangelion episode. But then it cuts back to the sad reality that is actual Evangelion. It was a good example of what a dream is, really. Dreams are fun, everything's amazing, and then you wake up to your sad life where nothing is amazing and everything sucks. And just like dreams, everybody forgets this part of the episode even happened. Now the sad and complex part. The part everyone remembers. I should note that the entire ending takes place in Shenji's head. Now, if you've seen this anime, you'll know that the inside of Shenji's head is not a fun place to be. And if you haven't seen this anime, let me tell you, the inside of Shenji's head is not a fun place to be. The short version of the story is, Shenji has to confront who he is and figure out why he does what he does, and then he finally learns to love himself, and everybody tells him,
Congratulations! 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 Congratulations!
This anime was about giant robots fighting giant monsters, and now it's about giant babies talking about their giant feelings. That's not what I wanted. That's not what anyone wanted. This sucks. And yes, I know, it's a very positive message. Shenji is finally happy, and he spoke about his feelings to his friends in his head, to imaginary versions of them. But he didn't actually fix anything. His dad still hates him, Asuka's still a wreck, and Toji's still mangled. And Rei, well, Rei is Rei, I don't really know what to tell you. Except, nothing actually got solved! So to summarize the ending, the writers were on something strong, and they ruined the anime. Moving on! The End of Evangelion. FYI, don't watch Death and Rebirth, it's a waste of time. This ending was made right after Neon Genesis, probably because of all the complaints, and it was well worth it. The ending gets everything right that Neon Genesis got wrong. Instead of all of it being in Shenji's head, only some of it's in Shenji's head. There's actually an Eva fight in this one too. Asuka throws a destroyer, and then gets destroyed. Shenji is no help to Asuka because he refused to get his Eva. Misato does a bad thing. Now, the Rei in this version is the GOAT. She clearly remembers the ending of Neon Genesis, and she ain't going through that again. So she decides she must destroy everything before the writers get a chance to do it. And only now that Rei's huge, Shenji decides to get in the Eva. If he'd stayed out of it, then the world wouldn't have ended. Oh yeah, spoiler alert, Rei destroys the world. Rei turns Unit 1 into the Tree of Life with Shenji still in it. This couldn't have happened, by the way, if Shenji hadn't got in the Eva. I'm just putting that out there. But also, if he got in the Eva sooner, he could have saved Asuka, but chose not to. So far, Shenji has made every bad decision possible. This ending is going much worse on the Shenji front, and it's about to get worse. Basically, he has a version of everyone in his head. Not the actual person, but the person he thinks they are, based on all the interactions he's had with them. The same way you have a version of your friend in your head that's based on all your interactions with them. And their mother also has a version of your friend in their head that is probably very different from the version in your head. It's still the same person, just a different version of them. Neither one of them is wrong, but neither one of them is truly that person. Now, I would like to state that Shenji is a fucked up dude. He's watching his mother figure, Misato, have sex. All in his head. He can make it stop whenever he wanted, but chooses not to. He's just standing in the corner of the room, watching, with the voice of Misato begging him to stop, but he don't stop. I would like to state that this is the same Shenji responsible for this. Since Rei is basically God in this ending, I assume that she can read minds. And she probably saw all this in Shenji's head and decided that humanity just ain't worth it anymore. So she does the only reasonable thing and wipes out all life on Earth. Just to be safe. To do this, Rei gives everybody a vision of the person they love the most, and then kills them with these visions. After killing everyone except Asuka and Shenji, she sends Unit 1 into space as like a reminder that humanity existed at some point. Then she puts Asuka and Shenji on a beach, where Asuka is mere moments away from dying. Shenji is a weeping mess, and to end the movie, Asuka insults him. Roll credits! There's very little to explain in this ending. Basically, everyone died because the third impact happened. Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0! I'm not calling it 4.0 because That's not what it's called. This ending decided that the other two endings were stupid and it's going to be nothing like them. And oh my god, it went off the rails so fast. They have so many things that desperately need explaining but never get explained. Like this giant ship, where all these autonomous Avas came from, and why Nerve, which consists of 4 people, 2 of which are children, is able to take on a small nation's worth of people in Vile. Vile is basically everyone who was at Nerve before it fell apart. The complete collapse of Nerve is alluded to, but never fully explained, but I have all the information you need. Shinji's dad, Gendo, probably finally decided to actually speak to his staff, and then all of them realized simultaneously that he's not actually this super dark and mysterious figure who always has a plan but won't tell you what it is. No! He's just a paranoid little man who talks to tombstones, is addicted to glue, and refuses to raise his son. He probably also told them that he wants to wipe out all of humanity so he could see his dead wife again. When if he wanted to do that, he could have probably just only killed himself. The actual ending is crazy. It's the best one so far, and compared to the other two, it's cooked. Gendo goes into the multiverse with the Lance of Longinus and Lance of Cassius so he can start the 4th impact. Misato makes a new spear for Shinji, which he takes into the multiverse to fight his dad with. Once there, because the human brain can't actually comprehend what the multiverse is, it creates a world around them with all the famous Evangelion locations. We got Misato's house, school, the Tokyo 3 skyline, which has buildings made of cardboard, so the fight has very weird physics. And then when it was just getting good, the ending craps the bed because we have to go through mental stuff again. Turns out, young Gendo was a loser, just like young Shinji. Anyway, that's boring. We go back to the fight. Shinji defeats his father, and he has the ability to, like, undo everything. So he could fix everything. There would have been no 2nd impact, no 3rd impact, but he chooses not to, because he figures like loads and loads of people have managed to find happiness in this new world, and he doesn't want to take that away from him. And also in the ending, everybody gets closure, everybody gets to say goodbye, which is nice, as it's the first and only happy ending we get. Then there's this bit, like, I feel it's in Shinji's head, which is weird, as he's had, like, no interactions with this girl. And it's at the very, very end, before the music starts playing. She kind of feels and acts like his wife, which I didn't get, because he liked Rei, and he kind of liked Asuka. So I don't know why he's decided that he's marrying this bird. Just a bit confused on that one. Even I couldn't figure this one out. Like, they had a maximum of 5 minutes of interaction together, and now he thinks she's wifey material. It makes no sense! Unless you read between the lines, and remember that the writers for this show have always been on crack. And then when you take that into account, it makes total sense. Then they drop this masterpiece of a soundtrack on us, like it was unnecessarily good. And it was by far the most fun ending to watch. Despite it being the most complex one, it was the easiest to follow somehow. It only took them 21 years, but eventually they got good at making endings. Now for the secret ending that no one has heard of, because no one knows how to read anymore. Obviously I'm talking about the manga. And the manga is even more crazy than the anime. Like, how the hell am I supposed to read this? The ending of the manga is basically the end of Evangelion with bonus bits. The bonus bits are Rei and Shinji are the last 2 people alive in all of existence, because Rei completely ended everything. She created the perfect world for Shinji. No pain, no fighting, no people. And Shinji, true to his character, is a bitch about it. I only read volume 14, so I don't fully know what's going on, but I assume it's a lot like the anime. And in the anime, Shinji was not having a good time. So I'm gonna guess he wasn't having a good time with the manga either. But now, only now, after Rei has killed every living creature in existence, he wants them to come back. Because if there are no people in all of existence, then there's nobody who might be nice to him. What's going on here is Shinji is in an abusive relationship with all of humanity, and it's not cool, you guys. We need to stop. So Rei begrudgingly brings them all back, but nobody remembers who Shinji is. He runs into Asuka in Tokyo, and she has no idea who he is, and Shinji has no idea who she is. So I can only assume that Rei created an entirely new timeline where Evangelion never happened. And this isn't even the proper ending! The manga is by far the worst ending, because the very last chapter has nothing to do with the main characters. It's all about Shinji's mum and dad, and oh boy, it was boring. Shinji's dad was nice to Shinji's mum once, and then she decided that she's in love with him now. All the endings could basically be summed up by saying, the writers were on something, and Shinji's a bitch. I'll give you a little ranking for all the endings, just cause I'm feeling nice. In last place, the manga. In third place, Neon Genesis. In second place, End of Evangelion. And the winner is 3.0 plus 1.0. They go in release order, once again proving that old stuff sucks. I've been TODBOO, thanks for watching, subscribe, and goodbye.